You are watching the Spherical Cow.
Time plus 3 seconds.
3. It's t plus 3 seconds.
T stands for time. Okay, come on, Ethan.
It's t minus 17.
We are rolling, so watch what you're saying.
T minus.
It doesn't have autofocus, so it won't appear clear. Turn it on
It's manual focus?
Yes.
Why do you turn it on manual?
Because it's not reliable. Okay, Ethan, I think you should say something.
I'm making how big is our universe?
No.
Welcome to the welcome back to the Spherical Cow.
Okay, don't touch your foot this time.
Welcome back to the Spherical Cow.
Thank you, Ethan. Okay, I like your shirt, Ethan. You know why?
You like my eyebrows?
What is your shirt? Stand up, let everyone see.
It's a pajama.
Pajama of what?
Space.
Space, very good.
Ah.
What's the biggest question can you think of?
How big is the universe and what is on the other side?
What's on the other side? Outside of the universe? Okay.
Is there an outside?
Okay, by definition though, universe is everything, right?
Oh yeah?
You understand that? But what we have learned is that universe is not infinite. Well, at least we don't think it's infinite. Some people think it's infinite. But the argument against that is what? What's the argument against that if it's not infinite? We're just asking what's on the
Other side.
and what's outside of it. The question is that our view of the universe is problematic because we're only thinking what 3 dimensions, right? However, how many dimensions do we live in? 4. What's the 4th dimension? It's time. Okay. So why is that? Do you go to school?
Huh?
Do you go to school at night?
No.
Why not?
Because we sleep at that time?
Yeah, you're sleeping at night and you go to school in the day,
It's
right?
not practical.
And because the daytime is the time you decide to go to school, right? So you meet at a location called school and at a time called school time on a school day,
Yeah, no.
right?
Duh.
So time is very important, that's what I'm saying. But the problem with time is that you cannot shift in time, can you? You cannot choose at what time you exist,
Give the word.
right? So that's why we're limited in thinking in time. We're thinking sort of confined by the time. But if we can break out of that, we are gonna be have a lot of insight about our universe. So that's what actually Einstein did. Okay, Einstein, found out that people are just confined by time thinking, by their everyday experiences, and then he said, "Hey, that's not very smart of us. And then maybe time is not absolute. My time is not the same as your time." Okay, so keep that in mind. However unbelievable that is. But later on, when you go to high school, maybe in college, you can learn about relativity in its details. Anyway, so later on we find out that the universe is expanding, right? So the stuff in your universe, they're very close by to one another. They're likely to collide, like a pinball machine, bouncing around, right?
It's like those really tricky filters where you become a little thing, part of a bigger thing, part of another thing, part of a bigger thing, and you realize how small you are.
Like a Russian doll.
Kind of.
That can you guys not eat
No.
things with like a pit
Why?
and have to go wash your hands all the time?
I don't have
Yeah, you can grab some snacks with that. You don't need to. Okay, so the problem with the universe being infinite is what? If the universe started infinitely, then maybe it is infinite. But if the universe started finite, as a finite, like cherry size, or an orange size, or this globe size, right? That's what most people believe. Universe has a definite finite beginning,
What if
and
it begins-
expanding into.
What if it begins in different areas and meets each other?
So the expansion started in several places. Yeah, that's a good thought.
Possible.
That is possible. But then there's no evidence for that at this point, right? And there's
Maybe-
no reason to bring that in.
Maybe part of the expansion is not that expanding like this. Maybe the universe is expanding in different areas and then it's meeting together.
Okay. Possible. But again, no evidence showing that. Okay?
Is there evidence showing the universe is expanding like
Yes,
that?
yes. Because the far away distance galaxies, they are moving away from us.
Has
That's
anybody
what-
ever had that thought?
Of what?
The expansion?
From several points, or what's your question? You gotta ask your question. You can suck on your cherry and ask a question at the same time.
And
If you're focusing on cherry and then I wonder what question.
Wait, but I have another question.
Okay.
If like you die,
Okay. Let's be honest.
If someone dies, then like do you have a second life?
That's
Then
beyond
you
science.
turn into another person.
That's beyond science.
That's
You turn
really
into
good.
another person. Hopefully. You know, some people
Well, I
you turn into a little dog or something.
But what
Magnet.
I feel like the most. What if we turn into the past? Because you never know. You know?
You know how God said
And then some people might be in the past right now.
And they don't know.
maybe we're just living.
And we might be in the past.
But,
forever.
so those are not scope of science, right? Until you can find some evidence and then prove to show that, you know, in this case you can build a theory around it.
Okay. So I have this really weird conspiracy theory.
And we're not talking about conspiracy theory. We're talking about what we already know. Okay?
Okay.
So what we know is that the universe is expanding. That's called what, you know, and then scientists think, okay, if it's expanding, that at one point in the past, what, the universe is very close together. But everything else is with everything else together, packed together. And then suddenly everything came into existence, right? And then there's a big bang of things. And then there's an afterglow of that big bang. We actually live in the big bang because we are not outside of the universe. We're thinking about the bomb exploding, the universe as a bomb. You are always picturing the universe from the outside, but actually we live inside the bomb, right? So to speak. It's just that the bomb has had enough time to expand and cool down, right? So we're not like burned up. Actually, we are actually the children of that bomb. Think about it.
I think
Right? We are created by that bomb, and eventually several other bombs. So we're not going to get into that. I want you guys to try to picture that we're on Earth, right? Do we live in a three-dimensional world? But it's by and large two-dimensional. We're only on the surface, right?
There's an inside.
There's an inside we can't get in.
yeah, because
We can
it's
hardly
so
get
hot.
in. Yeah. And the you know how small, how thin it is. The biosphere is.
10 kilometers.
Yeah. Compared to this globe, what would 10 kilometers be? Keep in mind, there's one circle around the equator, right? The big circle. It's 40,000 kilometers. So 10 kilometers is 1/400 of that. So how tiny that is? It's like, you know, it's like tinier than an ant, right? So
10
it's very, very
kilometers is
tiny.
still a lot.
10 kilometers is very, it's a lot. We don't even go 10 kilometers. The highest we fly is what? About, I say, 10 kilometers. Right? 30,000 feet.
People
Right?
can't.
35,000.
37.
So that's about as high as we can go, and we can't even. So in practicality, we still live in a two-dimensional world, right? On the surface of the universe, the surface of the Earth.
There's bumps, there's mountains.
Yeah, there's bumps and mountains. But think of universe, it's the same thing, right? It's expanding. It's like a balloon. Think of this Earth as a balloon, right? We're on the surface. The only dimension we cannot control is that how deep we go, right, into it. But the universe just expands. The time expands, right? Okay?
It expands like this. Like from the bottom to the top.
Right.
It also
So,
expands southward.
okay. Yeah.
And
Not
is there a
south.
sense of direction in the universe?
Not really. There's no definite direction, right? All directions are the same.
Well, what's dark matter?
It's like being in the
Do you guys remember going to the Griffith Observatory? There's a big old picture of the deep gaze of the Hubble telescope, right? There's many stars and galaxies and all that, right? On that wall printed, sort of like your pajama, right?
It's very inaccurate.
Of course, but that. Okay, so the point is that if you look out, can you tell which direction is which? No, because they all look the same pretty much, right?
Because it is.
And to us, when we look out that far, we see it sort of like a sphere, right? We see a two-dimensional map, right? We don't know which one is farther than us, which one is closer than us. There's a way to tell, but it's sort of embedded into that, right? So all this information, sort of, we still look at the universe as a two dimensions from our viewpoint. Does it make sense? It's not a three-dimensional thing. It's a two-dimensional surface. So keep that in
No,
mind.
when I was looking at the universe, it goes up and this way too.
Yeah, but when you see the sky, right? Night sky. If you look out, you have the moon and the Venus and the brighter things like Jupiter and things like that. However, they are sort of, if you have like a planetarium, right? You go into a planetarium, that's just a sphere, semi-sphere, right? And then they just project different stars or whatever they have. onto the dome, right?
I've been to a planetarium.
Okay. So there's one in Monsac, I think. We should go and open up.
How do you met?
Okay.
Let's go. I don't feel yeah.
You should go.
3rd grade.
Huh?
I went in 3rd grade.
Oh, I went in second.
You already did?
Yeah.
You went to the planetarium?
What? Which one?
With a lot of stars and stuff? The dome?
Yeah.
You went to that?
Yeah.
You went with me.
I didn't go. I don't remember either.
No, sir.
Okay. Okay. That's beside the point. So basically, what I'm trying to argue is that we still live sort of in a two-dimensional
I
projections,
know. I went
right?
on 1st grade.
And that's a great thing. You know why? Because you can watch TVs, right? How many dimensions does your TV screen, what your phone screen have?
2.
And what kind of world are we seeing in that 3 dimension?
2.
No, 3 dimensions, right? Everything, sort of mostly are 3D. For example, our video is sort of 3D to people. People can perceive that we are in a 3-dimensional world from their 2-dimensional screen, right? So the 3
Wait,
dimensions.
doesn't your screen have a thickness?
Yes, but the image doesn't.
Yeah.
Think about the image on in your eyes, right? All the lights go into your eyes, and then they project onto the back side of your, sort
They
of
have
like screen.
surfaces which reflect light.
Yes, and then that's a 2-dimensional surface.
I learned that in art class.
Very good.
I thought that was just fun. That reminds me of The Office where Dwight is using his feet and he's trying to become a king.
Okay. So do you get a picture of the universe now? We sort of crushed the 3-dimensional universe that we see down to the 2 dimensions, like the surface right here, like we're living on Earth, and then we're sort of expanding with it in a way that way. That we cannot go to the past. We
We're like
cannot go to the
Christopher
future.
Columbus. We're like Christopher Columbus.
Not quite. It's still different. And also, do you know anything that's infinite? Other than Buzz Lightyear?
I know.
What's it
Like-
called?
Prime numbers.
Okay, yeah, numbers can be infinite, right? Do you know anything that's physical that's infinite? The only thing that's infinite sort of is time, right? Time has a beginning, there's no end to it.
Time also has numbers.
Right? Time kind of has numbers. Time, so far, we have only elapsed in the finite time, but as far as we know, that time doesn't have an end, right? Excuse me, well, that's
We're at the beginning and the end of time.
So the point that Neil deGrasse Tyson said in his Cosmos is that you're at the center of the universe. That's like what? For example, you're on the point on the globe, right? Around this point, right here, right here.
Because
Right here.
there's stuff expanding all around.
This is like the center of the Earth, right? Of the surface of the Earth, right? That's the same thing, right? Anywhere you look, there's something. The surface of the Earth, right? Same thing, we're in the universe. That is why you're at the center. But also you're on the edge. In what dimension are you on the edge?
Time.
On this dimension, time dimension, right? You're on the edge. Everybody's on their own edge of the universe.
Let's get that out of the way. So, talking about spheres, right? We're talking about spheres. The universe as a sphere, right? So this thing, for example, can expand, right? Like the universe. Yeah, it can shrink like the universe. Shrinking, right?
Wait, you can share it tomorrow.
Yeah, of course. Oh, make it big. Right? Then we can zoom out.
Then what is that thing in the middle?
Make it big. I'll explain that.
Quick,
Make it big.
sponsored by Tinkercad.
make it big. Oh, make it big. Oh, expanding. But it doesn't matter how you expand, right? It's still a sphere. Right?
It can eat the other universes.
Yeah. So, but what's outside of it? You can be outside of it if you can think big enough, right? But this is just expanding along with time, right? But we're only stuck on the sphere. And then this 2D sphere, spherical surface is our 3D projection. It's the projection of our 3D universe.
Yes.
Why in space does time go faster?
No, it's not necessarily true.
Somebody told me that some guy went up to space for what he thought like 4 years, but when he went back, it was like 20 years.
Well, that's a twins paradox.
What's that?
So that has more detail about relativity. So you have to understand that later on. So basically, if you're traveling at a high speed, right? Compared to the person who's not traveling, your time is elapsing slower. You don't feel anything. So for example, if say Ethan, you're younger, right? If you take a spaceship and you fly to what's the far point?
The moon.
Alpha Centauri?
Uranus.
Uranus. Okay, Uranus. Let's say you go visit Uranus really fast, right? And then you come back, right? You're gonna see Gloria. Wow, how come you're so old, right? Well, Gloria, if you make a trip, right?
No. If I make a trip, he's gonna be older than me.
Yeah, he's gonna be older than you, right? And then you come back in the, for your time, it might be.
That's a good way to be a little sister.
Yeah, that could be a good way. Right? It's very costly, right? Maybe we'll come back to find a mature even
Ah!
easier to deal with.
Ah!
It's not gonna stab you in the back.
And when all is said and done, there is really only one.
What is space?
I'm
Wait,
getting out of here.
We're rolling.
I know we're rolling. Put that at the end. Put that at the end. Put that at the end.
Okay, put your phone down
Okay. I still feel like this.
and put your makeup down.
This is not makeup. This is my eyebrows.
Okay. So
That actually hurts.
good.